After a strong showing from Trinity men's soccer ladies to take center stage here at Paul McGinley Field as they match up against the University of St. Thomas Celts here in Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference action. Trinity comes into this game undefeated, 4-0 on the season. The Celts come in with a 1-2 record led by second-year head coach Nick Morrison. The lineup he puts out for today's game is Carmen Lozada in between the sticks, Haley Hernandez, Kelsey Droptini, Isabella Rivera, Mary Pham, Ariana Lewis, Isabella Anziani, Alessandra Sanchez, Desiree Lewis, Sofiana Clarit, and Samantha Orozco. For the home team Trinity Tigers, the goalkeeper is Joey Finley, and on the field Lindsay Pang, one of the two captains for Coach Harrison today. Katie Ward, Elena Wickham, Alex Walsh, Madison Horner, Cameron Beal, Cece Hendricks, Molly Sheridan, Nia Shepard, and Bailey Meyer rounds out the 11. Second game at home this season for Trinity. Took the first one earlier in the year against Southwestern. 4-2, and we are underway here on a pleasant Monday evening in San Antonio, Texas. Early turnover from the Celts. Wickham trying to track it down for Trinity. Playing off the left wing today. Early ball over the top. Meyer forced to track back, does well. Get there ahead of Haley Hernandez, drops it back to the goalkeeper. First touch for Joey Finley. And early possession now for Trinity as they knock it around the back line. Lindsay Pang, the diagonal over the head of the defender into the path of Horner. This pass is intercepted and Droptini puts it into touch. Horner, part of a strong junior contingent leading Coach Harrison's team. Just the one senior out there on the field is Lindsay Pang. But as for the juniors, you got Hendricks, Beal, Horner, Ward, and some more on the bench as well. That midfield area controlled by the third-year players for Trinity. Throwing into the feet of Sheridan. Able to keep possession. Picks her head up and finds Hendricks. Hendricks' pass intercepted. Put up for a throw on the far side by Desiree Lewis. Ball into the feet of Katie Ward, who's led the Tiger offense this season. Back-to-back Offensive Player of the Week awards for Trinity's number 4 out of Phoenix, Arizona. St. Thomas already camped out on their own penalty area here as Pang sends in a long ball, and it may break for Ward. The first touch is heavy, and it rolls through to Carmen Lozada. Beal wins the header from the goal kick. And Ward drops it off to Nia Shepard on the far side, coming off a terrific season where she had 2 goals and 13 assists in 22 games, 16 of which she played from the start. And pretty much all of those minutes coming as a defender, and nevertheless putting up terrific attacking numbers. Throw in over the head of Horner, flicked on by Lewis. And now to play for another St. Thomas throw. Droptini looking to pick out her forward, Haley Hernandez, junior from Galveston, Texas, is causing problems here for the Tiger back line. Celts come forward into the attack now. And a strike from distance is gobbled up by Finley. First shot on target goes to the visiting Celts. Finley's punt got plenty of height under it, but not a ton of distance. Trinity looking to play out. Walsh nudged off the ball, but it's turned right over to Horner. who can't keep it for Trinity. Lewis rides the tackle from Hendricks, where the pass is intercepted. Walsh going the other way. Has Ward to her left. The cross comes from Katie Ward. Sheridan in the area. The first to it is the goalkeeper for the Celts. See the threat of Trinity. They can turn the ball over high up the field immediately, threatening the goal. Hendricks with a big header in the center circle. Found the feet of Ward, who's dispossessed. Lewis steps around Beal, but Pang is there to intercept. Ariana Lewis with a strong opening 5 minutes. Up against the Tiger midfield. And Droptini looking to pick her out, but it's intercepted by Pang. Flicked on by Ward, misjudged by the Celts, and Orozco is under pressure here. Pang again stepping into the midfield to win it back. Sweet feet from Walsh, looks to put it in behind for Ward. That time cut out by the Celts. Still Trinity on the attack as Wickham cuts inside her defender. Thinks about a shot from distance, instead finds Walsh. Tried to lay it into the path of Molly Sheridan. Just the one striker forward for the Celts here as they're pinned back 5 minutes into this game. Cross comes in from Shepard into the waiting arms of Lozada. And the refrain already from the St. Thomas bench is make sure you're not just camped out on the edge of the area, and try and get out and apply the pressure to Trinity. A pass turned over. Bailey Meyer, who was named to the all-conference second team last year, made the interception. And Pang, who's certainly a favorite to be involved in those all-conference selections this season, as she missed a majority of last year through injury. Took the throw in there. Beal turns it over. But is able to win it back as she does so well. Hernandez with a thankless task today of spearheading the Celts attack. Hold up play from Ward. Hendricks looking to put it in behind. Overhit. And once again, Lozada involved. Beal again uncontested. Wins the header. And Hendricks settles it in the midfield. Her pass comes off the official, but falls for Nia Shepard. Ward with the turn. Wanted Madison Horner down the right wing, but it's intercepted. Horner tracking back, pokes it away from Lewis. And Hendricks turns out of pressure. Ball down the line for Molly Sheridan. Whips it in. Closest to it was Alex Walsh. Hendricks will take the shot on from distance. We'll say Walsh was offside in the previous action. Celts there trying to buy about 10 yards as Droptini put it outside of the area. Instead, Walsh saw the flag go up just around the penalty spot. Discussion with Coach Nick Morrison and Isabella Rivera. As Trinity wins it back high up the field, they look to slip it in behind for Sheridan, and again overhit. Coach Morrison for the Celts in his second year after joining from Schreiner, where he was twice SCAT Coach of the Year back in 2014 and 2015. Also played for the Schreiner men's team as a goalkeeper back in his playing days. Contact in midfield, and the whistle goes against Elena Wickham. And a chance for the Celts to come forward into the attack. They still have the game's only shot on target. A speculative effort from outside the area. Beal intercepts the free kick. Shepard plays it down the line for Wickham. Steps inside the defender, but it's good work from the Celts to win it back. Ball into the feet of Hernandez. Goes to ground, nothing doing, says the referee. Chance for Trinity to come forward with Bailey Meyer. Goes wide for Horner. Horner wants to hit that finely weighted pass in behind for Sheridan, but the run had not come just yet. So Horner will take the throw into the feet of Ward. Goes back to Beal. It's their head of Lewis. Looking to find the feet of Sheridan. And on the lunge there after turning it over, Cameron Beal commits a foul. Last season the Celts scored 1.27 goals a game and gave up 1.29. As they had a 5-8-2 campaign in their first year in NCAA competition after moving from NAIA. This season, though, the goal scoring has really dried up. Nobody on the roster with a goal to their name as of yet, 3 games into the season. They're applying the pressure here as Horner tracks back. Wins it back from Rivera. And Bailey Meyer clears. Ward draws the free kick. All that to say, they're without their leading scorers from last season, who both graduated. Katerina Maximoff, who had 8 goals, 3 assists for the Celts, and was named to second team All-Conference. And they definitely miss her goal-scoring presence up top. She was unable to play, actually, when the Celts came to town last season, and Trinity took the game 3-0 here at Paul McGinley Field.
First touch, Issa. Control the ball. Come on.
So we never got to see her play, but it was evident based on her stats that she knew how to put the ball in the back of the net, something this team is now learning to do without her. Horner down the line, puts the cross in, and gets it back. Drop of the shoulder, and now the left-footed delivery comes all the way to the back post. Wickham couldn't control it, but she'll track it down. Drops it off to Shepard. And the Celts concede a corner. See the left-footed cross from Horner after a good piece of skill to create the space. Wickham just couldn't find it as this corner comes into the top of the box, and Wickham herself will track it down. Payne cuts inside and draws the contact. You see the knee brace she wears on the left leg, the injury sustained in the 7th game of last season, when she had already put up 5 assists through 6 games. Here's a chance for one as she whips it towards the back post. Kept alive by Wickham. And cleared out to the left side by the Celts, but Beal's first to it. Some space now for Alex Walsh. Her pass intercepted. And the Celts have possession for a moment before Hendricks steps in. And another through ball intercepted by the visitors. Hendricks commits the foul, and it'll be a breather here for St. Thomas. Actually have the only shot on target of the game, despite having very little of the possession. Trinity just looking for the right way to pass to create that opportunity that they feel is certainly on its way. Katie Ward has been very involved in Trinity's offense this season after moving into a more central role. Lindsay Pang intercepts the ball down the line. Sanchez takes the throw in for the Celts. And Horner lost her footing. She stayed down here for a moment. Maybe just the wind knocked out of her. And she tells the referee she'll be okay. That was an awkward one. The official gives the Celts the ball back. And we're once again underway. Applying the pressure, Alex Walsh on the left wing. Wins it back. Her teammates coming to the attack now. She steps past one defender. Plays it forward for Sheridan, who also drops the shoulder, gets past her defender before the Celts able to repel it, at least for the moment. Beal does well to shield that ball and win it back. Here she is with a couple of defenders closing in. Horner coming inside. Looking dangerous here. She puts it through for Walsh. A chance to put the service into the box. It's cut back for Molly Sheridan, and there's the opening goal. A beautifully worked move by Trinity, and they're on the board here 15 minutes into the game. See, as this play starts, it's Horner coming inside that opens up the space for Walsh. And solid movement. Sheridan opens up into the space and makes no mistake with the finish.
Goal for the Tigers by number 22, Molly Sheridan.
Molly Sheridan, a strong start to her sophomore campaign. 4 goals already.
Alex Walsh and Cameron Beal.
Beal once again wins it back for Trinity in the midfield. It's dinked into the path of Horner. He's competing up against Mary Pham there. Pham has her pass deflected by Beal. Fell to the feet of Ward, who wanted to put it in behind for Sheridan. Ward wins it back. She's too quick there for the Celts. Now she makes her way down the right wing. It's swung in and into the waiting arms of Carmen Lozada. Hendricks and Beal just dominating those aerial battles in midfield. And this time Hendricks wins it back with the feet, finds the ball to Molly Sheridan, who drops it off for Horner down the right. Horner tries the same move and cut inside that time, but it's read by Claret. He sends it down the line as Meyer drops it all the way back to Finley. Chance for Shepard to bound forward into the attack. Gets her head up, sends it down the line. Well-weighted ball for Wickham. Plenty forward in the attack for Trinity. As Wickham cuts onto the right foot, swings it in, finds Walsh. Looks to put it back out towards the Rockwall, Texas native. It's dropped off for Shepard, and now space for Hendricks. Just the one player forward for St. Thomas, but here comes the help. Isabella Rivera in a foot race with a couple Trinity players. One that looks like she'll lose to Lindsay Pang. Pang's ball down the line, finds Madison Horner. Ball to the feet of Katie Ward. And once again, space for Nia Shepard. Shepard finds Alex Walsh, 20 yards from goal. Cuts onto her left, and the ball into the path of Katie Ward. She swings it onto her left foot, but didn't get the power she wanted behind the shot. Katie Ward is now tied for the team leading goals with 4. Sheridan's opener today equaled the team best, but also has 1 assist. I mentioned she's been heavily involved since switching into that number 10 position behind the striker for Coach Harrison. She's up to 18 career goals since joining Trinity. She's involved here in a battle in the midfield, which she wins. And now space for Beal. Beal wants to switch, but comes off her foot wrong, and she has Wickham out in space on the left. Sheridan and Ward both grabbed 2 in Trinity's home opener against Southwestern earlier in the season, and there were some beauties in that game from outside the area. They both really improved their shooting from distance this season, or at least they've been showing it more than previous years. And the Celts have a player down who will need to be subbed out. This will be Riley Keck into the game for Alessandra Sanchez.
Number 2, Riley Keck. Number 18, Alessandra Sanchez.
So Keck will go into the midfield for the Celts. Find themselves behind a goal to nothing here. First involvement for Keck. She turns back into pressure, and Alex Walsh able to come away with the ball for the Tigers. Played off to Horner. This left-footed pass. It's just off the mark. Good hold-up play there from Haley Hernandez. Just put it down the line now for Rivera. Celts struggling to get into the box as Rivera picks her head up, and Beal intercepts the cross. Another ball down the line. This one intercepted by Peng. And eventually Beal able to get it clear, looking for Sheridan. The Celts have it back. Wickham trying to get in front. Fouled that time by Lewis. She jumped the passing lane there. Shepard launches it down the line, miscontrolled. The Celts nonetheless get it clear. Out for a throw on the far side.
Push up! Ball's all the way over there! Get up!
Wickham drops it off to Ward. Swings it back to the Tiger back line with Lindsay Peng. Her long ball looking for Walsh. Second ball picked up by Cameron Beal. Hendricks spreads the play out to the left for Wickham. Runners in the area. She picks her head up and sends it in on the left foot. Sheridan called for a foul as she saw Lozada had spilled it momentarily. Looks like Lozada just had the one hand on the ball pinned up against her body. Ward intercepted that goal kick and sends it right back into the arms of Carmen Lozada, who was named Defensive Player of the Week earlier this season. Only conference award for the Celts so far. Sheridan offside. On the pass from Alex Walsh. Quarter way through this game, Trinity leading through Molly Sheridan. The assist from Walsh. Lewis wants to spread the play out to the right. Shepard jumped in front. Lewis wins it back. Hernandez drops it off. The long ball intercepted by Lindsey Peng. Beal rides the first challenge, goes down the second time. As Ariana Lewis is whistled for the infraction. Peng will send it forward. Beautiful ball onto the feet of Katie Ward. She steps past one defender. The help comes across, clears it for the moment. But here's Ward on the ball once again. Walsh tried to slip it in behind for Hendricks. Too much on the pass and rolls through to the goalkeeper. St. Thomas with the ball in the center circle, turned over to Hendricks. Walsh's pass is intercepted. It's Wickham's battling to try and win it back for the Tigers. Falls to the feet of Ward, which puts too much on that pass. And it'll be a chance for the Celts' second substitution to come into the game. It's Augustina Mancia.
Substitution for St. Thomas.
First-year midfielder from Spring, Texas.
Coming off, Isabella Anciani.
Anciani makes way on the substitution. It's a throw in for the Celts on the far side. Drop back to the thrower. And the Tigers immediately applying the pressure. Beal trying to battle and win it back. Again, strong play from Hernandez, who's probably been the standout player for St. Thomas so far with some of her hold-up play. Ball into the feet of Ward from Hendricks. Ward cuts in, sends the service towards Madison Horner, who jumps up forward at the back post. The Celts get it clear. Be a Trinity throw just in front of their bench. Sheridan turns her defender following the throw-in. Molly Sheridan in the area, and she goes down. It'll be a penalty. We'll see. Molly Sheridan just gives the defender the drop of the shoulder, then gets wrong side and gets taken out. Strong play from Sheridan. The Tigers turn a throw-in into a scoring opportunity from 12 yards. Trinity were just 1 of 3 from the penalty spot last season. Molly Sheridan did not take one. Elena Wickham did. She's on the field, but Sheridan won it, and she'll take it, looking for her second goal of the game. And it's rolled comfortably into the net. 2-0 for the Tigers. 2 goals for Molly Sheridan.
Goal for the Tigers, number 22, Molly Sheridan.
Trinity convert the penalty, and they are firmly
Substitution for St. Thomas.
in the driving seat here
Number 21, Emily Edwards.
as the Celts make a couple more changes.
Bejarano.
Emily Edwards and Rachel Bejarano
Isabella Rivera. And Haley
are into the game. Looks like we'll see a little bit of a shuffle in the formation. Desiree Lewis now the furthest forward for the visitors. We trail to a pair of Molly Sheridan goals here on the Monday night. Game that was rescheduled a couple of times, actually. Get to that in a moment as Horner comes forward. Wanted to return it to Sheridan, but it falls to the feet of Wickham. Wickham to Walsh. 20 yards from goal. Alex Walsh wins it back. Now Katie Ward. Beautiful drag back and gets the strike away. Lozada knocked it down. Some of the footwork that Katie Ward puts on display here, just mesmerizing the defenders. She opened up the space to get the shot in. The last time that the Celts were able to take the field was way back on March the 12th. So they had quite a long layoff to deal with. And this game had to be rescheduled a couple times, as I mentioned. Eventually landing here on this Monday evening. Because of that, the Celts will have a busy 12 days coming up. 3 games to conclude the regular season. Tigers, just a couple more games to go. Next one at home against TLU April 3rd. And then the following week they'll finish up the regular season schedule at Centenary. Horner sends her defender, puts the left-footed ball into the dangerous area. The Celts get it clear. Intercepted though by Shepard. One back by Lewis. Lewis able to pick her head up and send the ball searching down the line. Lewis to Lewis there. Desiree Lewis couldn't control it. Ward, good check of the shoulder and dribble to keep possession for Trinity. Her pass almost sold Madison Horner short, but the 2 juniors were able to connect there. Hendricks comes across to win it back. Lindsay Peng forward to Walsh, whose flick is overhit. And it'll be a Celt throw. Doing some digging over the lead up to this game. We noted that Trinity have led the conference in team scoring for 15 consecutive seasons. Of course, they are on an outrageous unbeaten run. 121 games since their last conference defeat. And strong defense, but also league-leading offense every season. Sheridan goes in behind looking for a hat trick, but the flag's up. On the feed from Ward, Sheridan just drifting into an offside position. A step or two behind the last defender. Corner cuts inside. Simple pass to Beal. Hendricks ahead to Sheridan.
I'm sure he was hearing all this getting real quick. Yeah, we need a fourth. That's the idea. So trust me, I've already been involved.
Beal dispossessed in the center circle. Ariana Lewis, one of the back heel for Desiree Lewis. Would have been some good combination play there. Ariana Lewis called for a foul against Meyer behind the play. See Trinity now up to 4 shots on target in the game, with 30 minutes in. And 2 of those planted into the back of the net by Molly Sheridan. Here's Ward, slips it into the path of Hendricks. He'll take a shot from distance. Sails wide in the end.
That's why we have you guys there. She can't receive it in turn.
Substitution for Trinity. Coming on, number 21, Kira Stafford. Coming up with a
See Kira Stafford enter the game here for Wickham. The first year listed as a defender on the roster is going to play on the left wing here. She comes from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and is the tallest player listed on the Trinity roster at 5'10". Kristen Canepa, of course, holding that title for, I believe, all 4 of her seasons on campus. Now graduated, the former All-American. Ball turned over here to Horner. Horner on the dribble, goes short to Beal. Shepard down the line. First involvement for Stafford. She sends the service in, under hit. rolls all the way through to the keeper. And a couple more Tiger subs preparing to come in. That one off the head of Beal and going the other way. It'll be a rare involvement for Joey Finley, another Albuquerque, New Mexico native. Here's the other, Stafford on the far side. Wants the line breaking pass into Sheridan, but it's cut out. Beal finds the feet of Walsh. Walsh. One diagonal out to Horner. Eventually it does come to Horner off the clearance from Shepard. Poked forward for Sheridan, who's offside. Fourth time the Tigers have been caught out here in the first half. Sheridan wanted to go to Stafford. Eventually Walsh was able to do so. Kira Stafford off the bench. Trying to cut back and create the space. Instead she'll drop it back to Shepard. We'll send it in. Hendricks arriving into the area, couldn't win the header. Celts with a few players forward here, if they can go quickly. Ariana Lewis puts it in behind for Desiree Lewis, who's wrong side of the Trinity back line. And the flag goes up. It was a very tight call. We'll have to see on the replay. You have to say the referees got it right by 6 inches at the absolute most. It was so close. It's one that they bring out the VAR lines for in the Premier League. Safe to say we don't have that here at the NCAA Division III level, but the official getting that call right on the money. Didn't need the technology. But a warning sign for Trinity. They have to be careful about those counterattacks going the other way, particularly since Desiree Lewis has gone up front. She's threatened in behind a couple of times.
Number 23, Dabney Moore. Number 26, Bella Ferrucci.
Trinity going to make a substitution, 3 of them actually, all in the midfield. Dabney Moore, Bella Ferrucci, and Emma Everts take the place of Beal, Hendricks, and Walsh for the final 11 minutes of the half. Moore, first involvement, brings it down, has her head up, finds the ball into Sheridan's feet. Wanted to flick it in behind for Katie Ward. Clearance intercepted by Madison Horner, sends it in. First touch from Sheridan. Couldn't apply the finishing touch. Trinity substitutes immediately, providing some energy, keeping the Celts pinned in. Dabney Moore tracks it down. Pang, ball over the top, looking for Sheridan. Flag goes up again against Molly Sheridan. Gonna look at that chance a second ago off Madison Horner's cross. First touch just a little bit heavy from Sheridan, and the tackle for the Celts was just enough to prevent a first half hat trick. Last touch there off the head of Katie Ward, out for a throw in front of Coach Harrison and the Tiger bench. Coach Harrison in his 5th season in charge. And he picked up where his predecessors left off, keeping this unbeaten streak going. He's 45-0 in the SCAC over the past 4 seasons. And he's picked up 3 straight SCAC Coach of the Year honors in doing so. Notably, last season, as Trinity made it all the way to the Sweet 16 and lost to eventual champions Messiah, Coach Harrison, Coach Valdespino, and the whole staff honored as NCAA West Staff of the Year for the region.
Number 20, Teddy Del Preti, or number 4, Katie Ward.
Katie Ward going to get a rest here as the first half ticks down. Teddy Del Preti, who comes from the same school as Kira Stafford out in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hope Christian. They'll both be on the field here to see out the first half for the Tigers. Here she is, Del Preti down the right wing. Gets the cross away. It's into the arms of Lozada. Everts called for a foul. As Ariana Lewis crumpled in front of her. Droptini launches it forward, comes off the head of Moore. Pang has it straight up. Eventually Dabney Moore wins it back for Trinity. Puts it forward for Stafford. Last touch off the Celts on the far side. Yeah, throw in for the home team. Shepard's ball miscontrolled by Stafford, out for a throw on the far side. Horner winning the ball in behind for Del Preti, who eventually did track it down and wins a throw. Horner cuts inside the defender, slides it down the line for Everts. Everts' cross is a good one. That's a good claim as well by Carmen Lozada. Came and took it off the head of Molly Sheridan. See, Everts able to get some whip on the service. Well read by the keeper. Meyer. Out wide for Horner. Diagonal ball there for Riley Keck. Opened up the space momentarily for the Celts. Stafford forced to commit a foul. Dabney Moore with a strong header one. Ping puts it forward down the line. Del Preti will track it down. Knocks it past her defender, and she's run onto it here. Tracking back and doing the work was Riley Keck. Puts it out for a throw. He's had a couple good moments since coming off the bench here in the first half. Horner's throw into the feet of Sheridan. Pang steps into midfield to make the intervention for the Tigers. Got their 2 goals from 5 shots, 4 of which have been on target. Everts, ball in behind for Stafford, who's offside. Shot went wide nonetheless. Tigers definitely out in front in terms of offside calls. That's now the 6th. I think Stafford's initial run would have been onside, but it took a flick along the way from a Tiger player. Caught her behind the last defender. Everts, ball down the line for Horner. Puts it forward for Del Preti. Cut back cross towards the top of the box. Couple players arriving in white and maroon. Dabney Moore now takes the left-footed strike. It's going to fall for Ferruzzi. But Lozada with the crucial intervention. You see, it came off Sheridan. And just in time, Lozada makes the save. Under 4 to go. The Celts looking to make 3 more substitutions before the halftime break. And they'll get a chance to do it here. Eileen Carbajal,
Substitutions.
Ashley Macias, and Cynthia Mendoza. We'll see at the half for the Celts.
Number 9, Eileen Carbajal. Coming off number 10, Mary Pham. Number 21, Emily Edwards. And number 24, Desiree Lewis.
He'll get just about 3 minutes of a run out here in the first half. Shepard won the header. It goes out for a Celts throw on the far side. Goals coming in the 16th and 26th minute for Molly Sheridan. She got both. And the Tigers lead 2-0 here in the first half. Foul throw called against St. Thomas. And free kick will go against them as well. And potentially a last opportunity to add to the lead for Trinity before the break. Tiger fans would have been glad to see these first half goals go in after the University of Dallas took Trinity all the way into overtime with a scoreless draw before Katie Ward got the golden goal to win the game for Trinity. That was just the 6th time they've gone past 90 minutes in their current unbeaten run. Stretches over a decade. Here's a chance for Del Preti. Edge of the area, sends the cross in. Sheridan closest to it for Trinity, but it stays alive. Top of the box. The shot came in from Ferruzzi. See, you got the touch there from Lozada that keeps it away from Sheridan, and Ferruzzi didn't want to take it on the left. Instead, slicing it with the right. A rare ball allowed to bounce as Trinity's midfield has been dominant in winning those headers. Nonetheless, they are able to get it back, given away by Moore. Lewis has her pass intercepted. So we're at 30 seconds to go in the half. Everett's pocket of space. Wants to put it in behind for Stafford, but coming out to claim Carmen Lozada. Saw the idea, but that close to goal. Lozada always the favorite to come out and get it.
Ten seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6.
And the clock ticks down on a
4.
dominant Trinity performance here in the first half. The goals provided by Molly Sheridan. The assist going to Alex Walsh on the opener. We'll have a 15-minute break and we'll be back for the second 45. You're watching SCAC women's soccer action on the Tiger Network. Enjoy these goals.
spring athletic season is well underway, but we've actually had a couple sports conclude recently, Brian.
Yeah, the football team 2 weeks ago lost to Hendrix College in their attempt to make the Southern Athletic Association championship game, but they still got the opportunity to finish their season with a win as they pulled off a 38-15 victory over Birmingham Southern to finish the season with a 3-1 record. Meanwhile, inside Calgary Gym, the men's basketball team fell just short in their attempt to win their first SCAC championship since 2014. The Tigers fell to the St. Thomas Celts 80-66. It was a back-and-forth affair the whole time until the Celts started draining their three-point shots late in the second half to pull away. However, it was still an amazing season for the Tigers in head coach Jimmy Smith's first year at Trinity, and they returned most of their team next year, including sophomore and SCAC Player of the Year Caleb Jenkins.
Yeah, and obviously a ton of excitement on the men's basketball side, and same thing on the women's basketball side. They finished with a 10-2 record, and they were able to come out on top in the SCAC championship final, 73-63 against Colorado College last Sunday. They were led by senior point guard Jordan Rudd, who had a career-high 22 points, peaking at the right time in her collegiate career. Ashlyn Milton and Haley Coleman were also named to the SCAC tournament team. And Trinity Athletics doing so much on the field. Let's learn about what they're doing off the field to give back to the community with Gina Monaco.
Could you tell us what the mission of Trinity Buddies is?
Sure. So I started Trinity Buddies when I was a sophomore in college, so this is our third year doing it now. And initially it was really just to give back to any kid in San Antonio. We had impacted Little Leaguers, some school kids, ranging from elementary to middle to high school. And now in my senior year with the Trinity Buddies United as One fundraiser, it is specifically to help out homeless kids and families in the Northeast Independent School District. But really, at the root of it all, it's just to give back to as many kids as we can in the San Antonio community.
You started Trinity Buddies, you mentioned, when you were a sophomore, and now you're a senior, but it's not something that every college student just decides to do, to start a charity. So what really sparked your drive to start a charity like Trinity Buddies?
I think a lot of it had to do with me being a San Antonio native. I was raised in San Antonio, and funny enough, I actually went to baseball and basketball camps here at Trinity. And so I just really saw myself in the kids that we give back to, and could picture myself in their shoes. And when given the platform and opportunity to give back, it was just, I just honestly didn't really have to think about it. I kind of the pieces fell into place, and, you know, being able to give back to the kids who were in my spot, something that really inspired me and something I was very passionate about and wanted to start.
So with the pandemic, you've had to adjust on the fly and you can't host in-person events. So can you talk us through how you came up with the Trinity Buddies United as One fundraiser that's going on right now?
Absolutely. So I have to give a ton of props and credit to Justin Parker, Harrison Lalone, and Daniel Martinez. Those are three of my mentors that have helped greatly in this entire process. We began Zooming over the summer, of course, when we were trying to come up with ideas to keep Trinity Buddies going as safely as possible. And this is when we came up with the fundraiser. It in part deals with, of course, all of the Trinity Athletics programs, as well as the United as One pledge that Daniel brought up to us, which is basically talking about equality within the NCAA. So I thought it'd be great to have that equality, have that unitedness with all 18 Trinity Athletics teams. So that's how kind of the name came about and the idea came about. And so finally we were like, well, let's do a fundraiser. And then we moved on to who would be helping. And as an NAISD alum, I reached out to the Family Support Services, and they told me specifically that the homeless chapter was one that was, of course, even more impacted now with COVID-19. And obviously, even now with the snowstorm, they've, of course, been very impacted. And so we, got our who and our why all kind of put together, and that's how we came up with the fundraiser.
How does it make you feel to see every athletic team at Trinity rally around a cause that you started?
It's absolutely heartwarming. Even before we came up with the fundraiser, I had coaches and players coming up to me asking how they could help with Trinity Buddies in general. And granted, at the time, it was kind of a softball-specific thing. But now, like you said, with all 18 teams on board, it's huge. It's cool to see their fans and alumni who I might, never have met or talked to, saying their appreciation and giving their contributions. And just seeing the coaches and players get excited to give back and to get on board, it's just huge. It means a lot, and I think it really speaks to Trinity and all of the athletes and their kindness that they have within their hearts.
And how can people watching this get involved and help with your fundraiser?
Yeah, so all donations are going through Venmo, which is at Trinity Buddies. And then if you'd like to keep up with the fundraiser, you can follow us on social media. Our Instagram is at Trinity Buddies, and our Twitter is at Buddies Trinity.
It was really great to catch up with Gina Monaco and learn about all that she's doing off the field. Anyone who donates to her Trinity Buddies United as One fundraiser can specify on Venmo what team they're donating on behalf of to make sure that that team receives the credit in the competition. And that competition runs through April 26th. And as an extra bonus, anyone who donates at least $5 can get an amazing Trinity Buddies bracelet, and they can just specify if they want a white or a maroon bracelet in Venmo as well. Now, let's see what some of the teams that are still in action this spring are doing.
Absolutely. Let's start off with track and field. Track and field recently got their season underway, first at home here with the Trinity Invitational, where they had 5 individual event winners, and then competing at the West Kitley Invitational last weekend. Paige Tagney was named SCAC Track Athlete of the Week for her performance in the 1,500-meter run, where she set a new personal best and broke into the top 10 all-time in Trinity's record books. After the West Kitley Invitational, 2 more Tigers were honored by the conference. The first was Sean Majors, who placed 5th in the long jump with a jump of 7.18 meters, the best in D3 in the nation this season. And the second was Avery Puig, who posted the best times in the SCAC this season for both the 100-meter hurdles and the 100-meter dash. Coach Whitehead has his athletes competing at a high level as we head into an exciting weekend for Trinity Track and Field, where they'll be competing in 2 competitions. A handful of Tigers will compete at the Texas State Bobcat Invitational in San Marcos on Friday, March 26th. Most of the team will be in action on Saturday at Texas Lutheran University's D3 Challenge in Seguin, Texas. Keep an eye on this Trinity Track and Field team. They've come hot out of the blocks in 2021.
Trinity's baseball team sits atop of Division III as they're ranked as the #1 team in the entire nation. The Tigers boast a 10-1 record and are coming off a dominant win over Mary Hardin-Baylor, thanks in large part to 5 RBI and 2 home runs from sophomore Brian Shaw. Shaw, the transfer from the University of Richmond, leads the Tigers with 6 home runs on the year. Junior outfielder Jack Vonderhaar has also blasted 4 home runs and driven in a team-leading 22 runs on the year. After spending almost the entire month of March on the road, the Tigers are finally back in this beautiful field behind me as they play their next 8 games at home, including their first conference matchups against Austin College.
Men's golf were led by Conference Golfer of the Week Daniel Nunez to their 3rd team victory in 4 tournaments this season at the SCAC Preview Tournament. Nunez shot a 3-under 141 as Trinity came out on top at the Valor Creek Golf Club on Monday and Tuesday. They won't be back in action until April 12th and 13th at the Rhodes Spring Classic. That event will be held at the Miramichi Golf Club in Memphis, Tennessee, and following that, the team will return to the Valor Creek for the SCAC Championships. Trinity Women's Golf also came out on top at their SCAC Preview Tournament. All 8 Tigers who competed finished in the top 15 individually for the competition, headlined by Kiona Hisu, who finished 3rd. Trinity will be back in action next week at the Lady Crusaders Spring Invitational on Monday and Tuesday. The event is held in Stone Tree Golf Club in Killeen, Texas, and is hosted by the University of Mary Hardin-Baylor. Good luck, ladies.
The men's tennis team is coming off a couple of dominant victories against Concordia and the University of Ozark. Sophomore Hao Wynn and junior Christian Settles won the award of SCAC Doubles Team of the Week. This is the 3rd time the pair has won that award, winning twice in 2020. Settles also won the award for Individual Tennis Player of the Week in the SCAC. That was also Settles' 3rd time winning this individual award. The tennis team will next host opponents Southwestern and Shriner on April 17th. Meanwhile, the women's tennis team has also pulled off a couple of recent road victories, including shutting out East Texas Baptist and escaping with a close 5-4 win over the University of Texas Dallas. Seniors Zoe and Mary Cafin were named SCAC Doubles Team of the Week for the 2nd consecutive time this year and the 5th time in their time at Trinity. First year Elodie Richard also won the SCAC Singles Player of the Week for the 2nd time in just her 1st year. The Tigers will host several matches over the next few weeks, including against Division I school Incarnate Word on April 7th.
As preseason SCAC favorites, Trinity women's soccer were expected to dominate in their conference-only schedule this year, and so far they're off to a great start. They're 4-0 thanks to victories against Austin College, Schreiner, Southwestern, and the University of Dallas. In those 4 matchups, they've scored 10 goals and conceded just 2. The star of the young season has been junior Katie Ward, who has 4 goals in the last 3 games, good for the last 2 SCAC Offensive Player of the Week awards. That same award went to Molly Sheridan for her 2-goal performance back in Week 2, making it 3 straight for the Tigers. The Celts of St. Thomas will be in town this Monday for the final home game of the regular season for Trinity.
Trinity's softball team has unfortunately had a difficult time getting on the field this season. They have had their last 6 games either canceled or postponed due to COVID-19 reasons, and they haven't played since February 28th. Tigers softball is 4-2 on the year, and they have victories over the University of Texas at Dallas, Mary Hardin Baylor, and Our Lady of the Lake University. If all goes according to plan, the Tigers will play on the road against St. Thomas this weekend and make up games against Texas Lutheran at home next week. Senior pitcher Allie Holbrook will look to keep up her perfect record on the year so far, as she's recorded 3 wins on the mound, striking out 11 batters in 18 2/3 innings pitched.
Trinity men's soccer got off to a late start this season, opening the year with games at the University of Dallas and at Austin College last weekend. The Tigers took the first game against the Crusaders 1-0, with junior midfielder Matt McCord's first collegiate goal standing up as the game winner. The second game was a come-from-behind success for Coach McGinley's men, with goals coming from returning All-American Brady Johnson and new transfer Chin Adji to overturn the 1-0 deficit Trinity faced early in the second half. The Tigers will be at home for the first time this season, starting with a Friday contest against Southwestern, who comes into the weekend in second place in the conference with 7 points from 3 games. They'll round out the weekend by facing the Celts of St. Thomas, who currently lead the conference with 11 points from 5 games. The Celts boast SCAC Offensive Player of the Week, Gabe Salako, who was involved in 3 of their 4 goals last weekend.
The volleyball team is ranked 2nd in the nation across Division III and has responded to 2 tough losses against Colorado College with 4 consecutive victories against Centenary College and the University of Texas, Dallas. Senior outside hitter Avery Tuggle crushed 23 kills and recorded 11 digs against UT Dallas, making her the Player of the Week across the nation, according to the American Volleyball Coaches Association. She is only the 3rd Tiger to ever win that national award. Since there is no NCAA tournament this year for fall and winter sports, volleyball will wrap up their season with the SCAC tournament. But before they get there, they still face St. Thomas at home and have a trip to Seguin to face Texas Lutheran.
Well, that's the final bell, so you know what that means, Brian. What game are you looking forward to the most this coming week?
Honestly, Ryan, I could not be more excited to finally have the top-ranked baseball team back and playing at home in this beautiful field right behind us. They were gone for most of the month of March, and now they're back home for 8 consecutive games here at Trinity, and I'm just really excited to finally get to see them in action.
Yeah, absolutely. On the same token, I'm excited for men's soccer. Back at home for the first time, they've got a doubleheader this week against the 2 teams that are ahead of them in the SCAC so far this year, Southwestern and the University of St. Thomas. Those should be exciting matchups. And, of course, the women taking on St. Thomas as well. 4-0 in the season. Can't wait for that either. Well, Brian, that seems like it's a wrap for this week. We thank you for tuning in. I'm Ryan Figert.
I'm Brian Jenselson.
And we'll catch y'all next time.
So we welcome you back here for the second half of action. This Monday night of SCAC women's soccer. Trinity leading 2-0 on a pair of Molly Sheridan goals in the first half. You see they had pretty much the run of play throughout. The one shot for the Celts coming from outside the area in the opening 5 minutes. And not much for Trinity goalkeeper Joey Finley to do outside of that. She keeps her place in between the sticks. We'll see who Coach Harrison has trotted out in just a moment. We'll first take a look at the goals. First one on the cutback cross from Alex Walsh, where Sheridan applied the finish, and then she drew the penalty and stepped up to take it. Now tied for the team leading goals with 4. alongside Katie Ward, who will be a part of this starting group here in the second half. No, Sheridan actually up to 5 goals with the second goal, as I failed to do simple math. But not in to start the second half, it looks like. It'll be Teddy Del Preti to lead the line. Ball is dropped back to Walsh, and we're back underway here at Paul McGinley Field. Walsh back to Shepard. Swings the play and opens up the space for Pang. Ball put over the top for Katie Ward. Ward with runners in the area alongside her, sends it towards the back post, where Kira Stafford would have been wide open, but the ball swings behind for a goal kick.
10-12.
Goal kick taken short by the Celts. Try and play out, but it's intercepted by Trinity. Hendricks back in the game, makes the intervention there. Pang looking for the diagonal, has Stafford at the edge of the box. Couldn't get the body shape right, and it's turned over to the Celts. Hernandez lays it off, and Lewis made the run in behind, tried to dummy it to leave it for Rivera on the far side. Didn't come off, but it'll be a Celt throw.
No. Pull it down.
Another throw in for the visitors. Comes off the foot of Rivera. Cleared by Bailey Meyer, playing in the role that Kristen Canepa played for Coach Harrison all these years. But here is Del Preti breaking into the area, all on her own. Del Preti rounds the keeper, but couldn't apply the finishing touch as Lozada came up big for the Celts. Serious speed shown that time for the first year forward out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. She couldn't get her second Trinity goal on that breakaway opportunity, thanks to Carmen Lozada. As we were saying, Meyer in the middle of the back three played alongside Canepa last season, who anchored the Trinity backline to a .49 goals against average across the season. And this year, with the all-conference schedule, Trinity switching to this three at the back pretty much permanently to get more players forward and try and break down some teams that sit deeper. So far, it's working. 4-0 on the season. Walsh with the ball off the throw-in down the line. Cuts inside one defender. Finds Beal, edge of the area. Slides it back out to Stafford. Touch around the defender space now for Kira Stafford down the line. Cross comes in, and Del Preti misses her kick, keeps it alive. Walsh now with the shot, again deflected. And Beal will recycle. Trinity somehow haven't added a third here in the opening 5 minutes of the half. Meyer allowed to step into midfield, finds the ball to CC Hendricks down the line. But overhit as Reese Wallace couldn't keep it in play. See the move there from Stafford. And a great service right to the foot of Del Preti, who couldn't finish. Kept it alive, and Walsh's follow-up was also blocked by the Celts. Tangle in the center circle, and the Celts may have an opportunity here from the long ball, but it's well shielded by Meyer. Del Preti tracking back, pokes it away, and now Ward on the ball. Ward goes past Droptini, and now space to put it through for Wallace. Wallace, cut back cross, and Del Preti makes no mistake this time. Her second goal in maroon and white.
Goal for the Tigers by number 20, Teddy Trinity.
See Reese Wallace on the field here in the second half with the perfect ball cut back for Del Preti. And it was on a platter for the first year forward. 3-0 for Trinity. And they've come out really strong here in the second half. Already creating 3 really good chances and now creating the third goal as well. Put through the legs of Stafford and last touch off Shepard. Out for a throw for the Celts. Hernandez holds it up. Her pass is intercepted by Wallace, who overhits that, sends it all the way back to Lozada. Mancia pressured by Stafford. Lewis turns past Walsh, finds the ball forward for a teammate. Now Desiree Lewis loses out to Cameron Beal. Some more strong midfield play for Beal. She puts it in behind for Del Preti, who wants to keep testing that back line with her speed. Trinity strikers with 3 goals between Sheridan and Del Preti. Who's on the ball again here. Tried to return it for Stafford, who lost her footing. One came off the knee of Ariana Lewis. Out for a Trinity throw. Walsh back to Stafford. One of the big switch, but came off the back of Lewis. And it's tracked down by Beal. A little bit of a loose pass that time for Beal. She's on the hunt to try and win it back, and she does so. It's 5 yards inside the Trinity half. Wallace wanted the ball down the line for Katie Ward. Meyer has to be careful to avoid getting in a foot race here. Composed that time, as always. So now Wallace comes forward down the right wing. And a chance in behind here as the flag stays down. Joey Finley called into action for the first time in the half and timed it perfectly. And now it's Trinity going the other way. Del Preti drops it off for Walsh. Skips past one defender. Puts it through for Ward, who's wrong side of the back line, and Katie Ward, the thunderous finish into the top corner. Another assist for Alex Walsh, and Katie Ward with her 5th of the season here in game number 5. See, perfect weight, perfect first touch, perfect finish. Junior connection there between Walsh and Ward. Has Trinity out of sight here at Paul McGinley Field.
Number 21, Emily Edwards. Excuse me. Number 27, Samantha Orozco.
Samantha Orozco will take a seat for Cynthia Mendoza. Ward, see, her stats will be updated to show 5 goals, 1 assist on the season. Strong candidate for Offensive Player of the Year. She got a couple of votes for that award last season. And she didn't even play in the opening game of this campaign. So all the more impressive statistically for Katie Ward. There's Maggie Baldwin, who was the Offensive Player of the Year in the SCAC last season. She's graduated and moved on, and Ward looks to step into that role conference-wide, and she's breaking into the box here. Hendricks tried to pick her out. He ran through to Lozada. Another aerial ball won by Beal in midfield. Celts get the second ball and send it down the line. But Desiree Lewis can't keep it in play. Coach Harrison praising his team from the sideline. Certainly have come out strong here in the second half with 2 goals matching their first half already with less than 10 minutes gone. Celts try and flick it on there from the throw-in, but it's out for the Tigers. Paying with the ball into midfield. Nearly turned over. But Paying able to get the cross in. Stafford applying the pressure, but the clearance is made. Tracked down once again by Lindsay Pang. Loose touch there from the senior captain. And the Celts are back on the ball. Good move from Hernandez. The diagonal ball she wanted to hit was cut out on its path. Some good play here, though, from St. Thomas, threatening that ball in behind with the pace of Rivera on the left, up against Pang. Trinity doing enough. Doing enough to win a throw on the far side. Strong offensive showing here coming off their joint lowest performance last time out, the 1-0 overtime success against Dallas. Took them 95 minutes to find the breakthrough. And they're looking for the 5th breakthrough of the game already here. As Stafford in the area, looks for the finish, and Katie Ward provides it. Her second of the game. Second in just about 5 minutes.
Assist to number 21, Kira Stafford.
You see Walsh at the heart of it once again, lays it off to Stafford, who has all kinds of room in the St. Thomas penalty area. And the cross was well weighted for Katie Ward, who made no mistake.
Substitution for St. Thomas. For 2, Riley Keck.
So Sheridan had got the team leading goals back. And Katie Ward wrestles it back from her. Now on 6 for the season. With 2 here in the early minutes of the second half. Peel loses her footing. And Haley Hernandez tries to combine with a teammate, but it's the Colorado native who prevails for Trinity. And Stafford now comes forward, wants the ball in behind. For Del Preti, overhit. We've seen so much of Trinity on offense, it's really come down to whether that through ball is well weighted or overhit. It's either gone through to the goalkeeper or played a fellow teammate in behind. Here's a chance for the Celts now, breaking forward into the box, looking for their first tally of the season. But the shot is blocked by Bailey Meyer. Huge intervention from the Tigers sophomore. Stafford and Walsh combined to win it back for the home team. Walsh again with a lunging tackle to intercept. Don't want to misrepresent the fact St. Thomas have scored a goal. It was an own goal in the Shriner game, and they were able to hold on despite going down to 10 players to get their win of their only win of the season. As Ward goes past her defender, sends another low cross in, and Del Preti misses the target with the shot. But when you look up and down the stat sheet, Nobody with a goal to their name just yet for the Celts in the young season. And that's what I meant. Goal kick for Lozada. Walsh looking to track it down in midfield, but Mary Pham able to win it back for the moment. It's Trinity coming forward again. May break for Katie Ward. Last touch off the Phoenix, Arizona native, behind for a goal kick. Goal kick finds the foot of Ward. Del Preti racing to try and get on the end of it. Comes back to Lozada, the keeper. Hernandez and Beal were wrestling as the ball bounced over both of them. Hernandez has it taken off her toe by Lindsay Pang. Hendricks wants the ball in behind. Del Preti may have been offside. We won't know as it rolled all the way through. Loose touch in the Celts back line, and Del Preti has a chance to put it in behind for Kira Stafford. Kira Stafford can seal it here, and she does, the 6th. An assist moments ago, and this time it's Kira Stafford who can provide a finish of her own.
From number 20, Teddy Del Preti.
See Del Preti with a great ball in behind from the left foot. And just lifted over the keeper. Kira Stafford adds the 6th for the Tigers. Albuquerque, New Mexico playing a big role in the goal scoring today between Stafford, Del Preti. Not so much for Joey Finley, the goalkeeper, but she's out there as well. Looks like a profitable recruiting trip or two from Coach Harrison out west. The 3 first-year players playing significant minutes here in conference play and getting it done as well. Stafford returns it for Beal. It's a give and go. Kira Stafford breaks forward down the left side. Cuts back onto her favored left foot. The ball is cut back for Beal. Couldn't get the purchase on the strike. She led the team in scoring a season ago with 9 goals and 3 assists from that deeper midfield position. And was looking for her first of 2021 that time. Looks like she'll have to wait a little bit longer as she subbed out here for Dabney Moore.
Madison Horner coming off for the Tigers.
And Madison Horner also re-enters for Nia Shepard, which will move Reese Wallace into the back 3 for Coach Harrison. Hendricks easily steps past one defender, has a pop from distance, not far away. The South Carolina native wanting to get in on the act as the Tigers still have 30 minutes to add to their 6 goals. Seen plenty of performances like this from Tiger teams in the past who've really laid the boom on some conference opponents all the way up to double-digit score lines at times. We haven't seen that as of late in the young season. Trinity haven't scored more than 4. Not that 4 is bad at all. Already surpassed that here. This ball sent down the line, finds the feet of Katie Ward, who's finding more and more space to operate. It's pinpoint onto the foot of Alex Walsh. First touch takes her wide. Teammates arriving in the box. Here's Kira Stafford, has it under control, drops it off for Dabney Moore. Moore's shot just off target to the left here. Inches wide of the post. Some young players with an opportunity to play together here down the Trinity left side with Dabney Moore, Kira Stafford, Reese Wallace, and of course leading the line, Teddy Delpreti. Very youthful look to Coach Harrison's side at the moment, without any drop-off in production. So it has the Tiger defenders turned facing their own goal as Joey Finley comes out to claim. Rolls it out quickly. Horner timed the ball well, but it was intercepted by the Celts. As Trinity keeps looking for the pace of Delpreti in behind. Walsh and Stafford do well to win that one back high up the field. Was cleared away. Paying with the ball in behind. Stafford with a chance to get on the end of it. And it's just on the edge of the area. And Lozada couldn't go any further and still use her hands. Stuck to the task well. Came up with the ball. Delpreti gets wrong side of the defender. A chance for her second of the game. She'll square it. Looking for a teammate. A little too unselfish there for the first year forward. Stafford drops it off to Walsh, who returns it to Delpreti. Again, another ball across, this time looking for Katie Ward. Never a bad idea to try and find Katie Ward. Ball from Stafford was down the line for Wallace, who wins the throw. 9 shots on target for Trinity, 6 have found the back of the net. It's been a tough day for goalkeeper Carmen Lozada, and not a ton she could really do about many of these Tiger tallies. Off the fancy flick there from Wallace, Delpreti was offside. With how many times Trinity was actually offside in the first half, you had to figure that this was coming in terms of the goal scoring as soon as they got that timing down. Moore and Hendricks step in to win it. Lunge from the ground from Hendricks has Trinity going forward now. Plenty in the attack. First touch from Horner. She's got teammates in the area. She goes for goal herself. Misses the target out behind for a goal kick.
Number 14, Emma Everts. Number 10, Elena Wickham. Number 26.
A couple starters back into the game. Elena Wickham.
Coming off, number 12, Alex Walsh.
And then Ferruzzi and Everts back in as well. As Hendricks, Ward, and Walsh head to the bench. That's their job done today. It was a job well done for the trio of Trinity juniors. Pang wants the ball into Everts, but breaks for Stafford. Stafford at full stretch. Was it taken off her toes by the Celts? Lewis put under pressure by Moore. Lewis wants the ball over the top for Haley Hernandez. Certainly offers a lot in terms of the hold-up play ability to give St. Thomas a rest in terms of their defense. Maybe doesn't offer a ton in terms of pace and behind their wingers, more suitable for that. Ping has her clearance blocked out for a throw. St. Thomas, as I mentioned, in the first half, coming off a long layoff. Their last game was back on March 12th, a 1-0 loss to the Bulldogs of Texas Lutheran. I mean, they've got a tough stretch. 3 games in 12 days coming up. Be 4 in 16 days, I believe, if you count this one. So just 3 days off in between contests the rest of the way for the Celts as they look to qualify for a potential SCAC championship tournament. Just have to avoid staying out of last place in order to qualify. Their 1 win on the season coming against Schreiner, who currently find themselves in the cellar of the conference. Maybe a big 3 points between those two teams. Tabney Moore wins the header for Trinity in midfield. Ferruzzi out wide for Horner. Del Preti trying to break in behind once again, but mistimed it with Horner. 3/4 of the way through the game, Trinity had 2 goals when we broke for halftime, and they've come out and added 4 here in the second half. Space now for Madison Horner down the right. Slips it into the path of Del Preti. They can't connect. And arrives in the arms of Carmen Lozada. So no rush to get this one back in play. Stafford tries to bring it under control. Eventually does. It's it down for Wallace. Got ahead of steam and knocked it down the line. Just playing as a part of the back 3, usually deployed in more forward areas, so getting used to a new position. Stafford makes the interception. Moore tried to pick out Everts in the midfield, but it was intercepted. Pham picking off the pass. Ball poked out by Moore. Last touch off Lewis for a Trinity throw. Wickham drops it back to Wallace. Ball looking for Everts is intercepted. The clearance headed our way. There it is. As we approach the 20-minute mark to go here in the contest. Ball in behind. Del Preti in the left channel. Left-footed cross comes in. Madison Horner looking for the chipped effort towards goal. She was arriving at the top of the box. Couldn't keep the shot down.
Coming off number 4, Cynthia Mendoza.
Mendoza coming off here for Mancia for the Celts. Have another goal kick here. It's repelled by Trinity, so a Celt throw across the way. Rivera unable to turn. Peng's throw finds the feet of Horner. Horner constantly looking for that ball into the feet or in behind for Del Preti. Those two yet to connect since the Austin native entered the game on the right side. Ferruzzi runs into Pham, and Hernandez trying to put herself about here, matched up with Everts. And she does pick out her teammate. Unfortunately, though, that teammate Pham couldn't pick out another Celt and is actually limping away from that altercation. Stafford comes inside, gets the right-footed shot away. Gets it wrong. And Pham will go to ground here. Bejarano. Looks like she's coming in for Mary Pham.
Coming in for St. Thomas, number 19, Rachel Bejarano.
And a sophomore from Katy, Texas, getting stretched out by a teammate here. Stretching out both legs here for Pham. What I noticed was limping away from a tackle just about a minute ago. Hope just a case of the cramps.
Coming off for the Celts, number 10, Mary Pham.
She'll hobble to the sideline. Replaced by Bejarano. Coach Morrison, no stranger to tough trips here to Paul McGinley Field as a veteran coach of the SCAC. It was his second season at the helm for the Celts, but previously at Shriner for 6 years. Would have made quite a few trips here to San Antonio. He amassed a 41, 57, and 10 record with the Mountaineers before he made the switch. Horner. Past one defender, runs the ball into the feet of Wickham. Wickham keeps it alive. Ferruzzi has the strike from distance. Sails comfortably over the bar for Lozada. Lozada takes the goal kick short. And Ziani under pressure here from Stafford. This game kind of lost its energy after Trinity applied the pressure to start the half and pushed the lead up to 6. Haven't seen much going forward for either team since. Moore loses her footing in midfield. Steps in to win it back. Wickham challenged by Keck and eventually wins a free kick. Everts coming off the right side looking for Stafford. Eventually arrives at the feet of the New Mexico native. Dabney Moore's first touch too strong. Celts have a couple in the attack here and it's put in behind. But Joey Finley might be thankful for a couple of touches here as it rolls all the way through to the Tiger goalkeeper. Now a chance for 3 subs from Coach Harrison, including the star performer of the first half, Molly Sheridan, re-entering. Cece Hendricks re-enters as well.
Coming off for the Tigers.
As Nia Shepard. Looks like Bailey Meyer and Lindsay Pang, who have played the entirety of this game so far, will get to spend the rest of it alongside their teammates on the bench with 13:40 to go. So a back line of Shepard, Dabney Moore, and Reese Wallace. A couple of players listed as midfielders between Moore and Wallace, alongside the mainstay in the Trinity back line, Nia Shepard. Del Preti off the right wing this time. It's the service away. Hendricks was closest to it, but it runs all the way through. Of course, Sheridan on a hat trick can tie Katie Ward for the team leading goals once again if she can find her third of the match. Cross from Horner, put behind for a corner. Shepard, who comes across the take. Very much in the mold of Lindsay Payne, the outside defenders for Coach Harrison, taking these set pieces. Contributed to her amassing 13 assists last season. Kept alive by Del Preti, edge of the area. She'll drop it off to Wallace. Sends it wide for Horner. Dumped off for Shepard. Forward down the left wing. Service comes in. Sheridan couldn't poke it goalwards. It's out for a Trinity throw. Wickham keeps it in play. Goes back to Wallace. Ferruzzi tries to turn. Has it taken away for a moment before she wins it back. Wallace with a solid ball into the feet of Horner, who controls it. Lays it off to Shepard. Was fortunate there after a mishit pass. Fell to Everts, now playing off the right wing. Del Preti into the feet of Hendricks, breaking into the box. Horner keeps it alive. Horner certainly fouled there. Official swallows the whistle. She tried to cut onto her favored right foot. Sheridan holds it up for the Tigers. Everts pokes it in behind. Sheridan in pursuit. Droptini will try and shield it out of play, but Sheridan making her life difficult. And forcing a turnover. It'll be Trinity throwing. Shepard down the line for Hendricks. Hendricks in the area, goes down, and it'll be second opportunity for Trinity from the penalty spot this evening. See, Hendricks absorbs the contact, goes down. No question about it. Alessandra Sanchez commits the foul. And as appears to be the custom around here, winners takers. CC Hendricks. The chance to make it 7. Steps back and puts her foot through it into the back of the net. CC Hendricks.
Goal for the Tigers, number 16, CC Hendricks.
Her first goal of the season.
Number 21, Emily Edwards. Number 9, Eileen Carvajal.
Second for Trinity from the penalty spot. Looked very similar to the first. Just to the side of the keeper. Plenty of power.
Coming off, number 2, Riley Keck. Number 7, Kelsey Drupp.
And wholesale changes for the Celts in the aftermath of the 7th goal as we approach 10 minutes remaining in tonight's contest. Del Preti goes past her defender, still has Sheridan alongside her. Molly Sheridan, can she track this one down? No, just didn't have the pace. If you didn't catch the first half, it was Sheridan who opened the scoring in the 16th minute off the assist from Walsh and Horner. Then Sheridan doubled the lead with a penalty kick, which she drew. As this one runs all the way through to Finley. And then the second half, the Tigers came out hot. 4 minutes gone. It was Del Preti who scored off the assist from Wallace and Katie Ward. Then the fourth came from Ward herself, assisted by Alex Walsh. Just 3 minutes apart, Ward got her second of the game. Trinity's fifth off the assist from Stafford and Alex Walsh. Stafford then scored a goal of her own. The sixth was assisted by Teddy Del Preti, and then you just saw moments ago Cece Hendricks added the seventh from the spot. And the biggest offensive performance for Trinity this season. Their biggest win, you have to say, was the home opener against Southwestern, who took the SCAC championship away from them last season in penalty kicks. So that was a big one for team morale to win that 4-2 and pretty much command the game throughout. But in terms of putting the goals on the board today, they've looked strong, and really over the whole weekend, Trinity soccer looking strong against St. Thomas. Yesterday, the men took their matchup with the Celts 5-2, and we've had 7 goals here once again. This time, though, all for the home team. 12-2 aggregate score between these two schools in the last 48 hours. Maybe a little revenge for the men's basketball SCAC final, which the Celts won here in San Antonio and CalGuard Gym. Everts tries to apply the pressure. St. Thomas will switch the play. Runs out of play ahead of Carbajal. Wallace, big throw in onto the foot of Del Preti, who turns her defender. Tried to skip past the second, but Emily Edwards stood up and won it back, as did Dabney Moore at the other end. Space for Shepard. Puts it out wide for Everts. Trinity still competing to win it back high up the field. They do so there with Wickham. Sheridan, drop of the shoulder, goes past the defender, rolls it into the path for Horner, who had her shot blocked. It's good work by Molly Sheridan. Trying to set up a teammate that time, having already scored twice herself. Now Wallace. Pushing all the way up from left back. One's a throw for the Tigers. Only shot on target for the Celts came way back in the opening 5 minutes. Pot from distance, comfortably saved by Joey Finley, who looks like she'll have the clean sheet today. She's been splitting duties with Lauren Bolish this season, but she's got the full 90 minutes of action tonight. This one comes into the feet of Sheridan. Top of the box. Sheridan goes to ground. Nothing doing, says the referee. And the Celts now stream forward. Carbajal puts it down the line. Foot race here between Lewis and Moore. Moore keeps positioning and puts it out for a throw. 2 more subs now for the Celts. Macias.
Substitutions for St. Thomas.
And Sabrina de Santiago.
Number 6, Ashley Macias.
Let's go, Ashley!
And number 26, Sabrina de Santiago.
And we place Haley Hernandez and Desiree Lewis, whose race is run tonight. Trying to feed off scraps at times. Both played their part in trying to produce counterattacks for the Celts. Sheridan breaks behind the back line for St. Thomas. Sheridan on a hat trick, shrugs off a defender and applies the finishing touch. Hat trick for Molly Sheridan. Her first collegiate hat trick. She turned one defender at the halfway line, shrugged off the second defender, and applied an excellent finish into the bottom corner of Lozada's net. So Sheridan and Katie Ward tied once again in that team lead for goals. That's been back and forth today. You gotta say the match ball will go to Molly Sheridan now with the hat trick. 3 of the Tigers' 8. Another touch for Finley.
Yes or no?
Booming punt towards Sheridan. Tries to turn, take it on the chest. When it runs out of play, Mancia shields it out. See a couple of Trinity students gathered there after their sand volleyball game, enjoying this excellent offensive showing from their team. This one's put in behind for Horner, who looks to get her name on the score sheet. Madison Horner with the left foot, right at Carmen Lozada. Another punt for Lozada. This one will reach the halfway line. Wallace slips. Moore meets it with her head. And Ferruzzi spreads the play well. Everts on the run. In behind for Del Preti. Already scored once today. Nearly had an opportunity there, but it was well read by Lozada. Wickham settles it in the center circle. Drops it off for Hendricks. Got the Tigers' 7th goal. More into Ferruzzi. Keeps it. Past one defender. Space on the left for Horner. Sends the cross in, and the save off the face, and eventually turned home. Del Preti. It's her 2nd of the game. Trinity's 9th. Despite the best efforts there of Carmen Lozada, she couldn't keep it out. We'll see how it happened. Arrowed cross in from Horner. First shot comes off the face of the goalkeeper and breaks for Lozada on the follow-up. That save robs Horner of an assist. Would have been well earned for a good service into the box, but Del Preti gets the Tigers' 9th nonetheless. Can they reach double digits here with 2 minutes, 17 seconds remaining in the game? Certainly look hungry. And now they've got another striker on a hat trick, Teddy Del Preti. Wickham pokes it away. Sheridan on the ball now. Spreads it out wide for Everts. Everts with runners in the area. Sends a laser beam of a cross in. And Sheridan on the turn, looking for her 4th. That's another follow-up effort. Pops up comfortably for Lozada. Celts running out of steam here in Trinity, looking to punish them for double-digit scoring. This one finds its way all the way back to Moore. Drop it back to her goalkeeper. You await the 1 minute call here from the PA announcer at Paul McGinley Field. Take you through the goal scorers one last time. Sheridan with both goals in the first half. Del Preti, and then 2 from Ward, Stafford, Hendricks. Molly Sheridan got her hat trick in the 85th minute. And Del Preti got the 9th and the 88th. Will Trinity find number 10? They'll get a chance from a corner here as the clock ticks down. Tigers going to improve to 5-0 on the season. Cement their place at the top of the SCAC standings. Celt's going to fall to 1-3 as it comes off the head of Everts. And in the dying embers, Trinity reach double-digit scoring. Everts from the corner makes it 10. Shepard getting the assist right onto the head of Emma Everett, who held off her defender. And shout out as well to Ferruzzi, who was posted up on the goalkeeper, prevented a save.
10 seconds. 9.
Plenty of players in on the action for Trinity, scoring and assisting today as
3.
they come out with a resounding 10-0 performance. Coach Morrison's Celts have a somber bus ride home now as Trinity defend their home soil to great effect. Sheridan hat trick. 5 other Tigers on the score sheet, with 2 goals from Del Preti, 2 goals from Ward. Stafford, Hendricks, Everts also get a goal apiece. So, another strong performance from Trinity Women's Soccer at home. They follow up the 5-2 from the men's side against St. Thomas with a 10-0 tonight. Ben Ryan Figert, and I've enjoyed describing plenty of goals today. We'll take you through a few of them. There was Sheridan with the opener. She doubled Trinity's tally with the penalty. Nothing Lozada could do about it. And then the Tigers came out roaring in the second half for 8 goals in total. The first one came from Del Preti, who applied the finish following the cross. And then a stellar finish from Katie Ward, her first. About to see her second, which came 3 minutes later. As Josh Muxagimba in the studio, clipping up all these highlights that the ladies managed to produce on the field. Stafford down the line, squares it to Ward for the tap in. That was the 5th. Here's the 6th. Kira Stafford gets it done herself, lifting it over the keeper. Her first collegiate goal. Hendricks won the penalty, converted it herself for number 7. And then Sheridan finished off her hat trick, spinning the defender at half field, holding off the second, and blasting it past the keeper for her 3rd of the night. And then 2 more for Trinity in the final 3 minutes. Pushed it to double digits. The first came from Del Preti. After a good save from Lozada, Del Preti got the follow-up. And in the final minute, Emma Everts, the exclamation point on this Trinity performance, the header from the corner kick. It's been a fun one for Tiger fans. Thank you for spending your Monday evening with us. And have a good week. We'll see you again next weekend for more action from Trinity Soccer. Thank you.